Hey guys and girls, this is part 3 of our Gamemaker tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to create an object and assign our sprite, our character sprite, to that object and do a little bit of configurational programming of the object. It will become a bit more clear as we progress through this tutorial. So the first thing we are going to do is create an object. So just hit the object button, which is this little sphere at the top, and it brings up the properties window. So we want to obviously name our object, and we're going to stick with our naming conventions, and it's an object, so it's going to be obj underscore player. So imagine the object as the skeletons of your body. The skin would be the sprite. So for this character, we're going to have an object and we're going to cover it with the tank skin or tank sprite that we've created. So we're going to just click on the drop down arrow here and we're going to tell it to use the SPR player sprite. Okay, and that is done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get our program our object to move. So what we want to do is click add event, and we want to select keyboard, and when keyboard up. So now we've got an event, so when the keyboard, the up arrow is pressed, we want it to do something, we want it to perform an action. So we're going to go to control, and that action that we want it to perform is we're going to set a variable, and we're going to call the variable speed, and we're going to set it to a value of 4. I'm going to click OK, leave relative unticked. We're then going to get our tank to move backwards, so we're going to add an event, keyboard, and we'll use down key, and again we're going to come across and add the actions, and again we're going to be setting a variable, and that variable is going to be called speed, and it's going to be 4. But what you want to do here is you want to add a -4, so it will take 4 away from that and move it in the opposite direction. Click OK, and you can guess it, we're going to do left and right. And what we're going to do is, the first thing we are obviously going to do is add an event, and it's going to be keyboard, and we're going to say when the left key is pressed, and we're going to get it to do something. Make sure we're on control, variable, drag that in, and we're going to call this variable image underscore angle, and we're going to set that to 5, and we're going to tick relative. Click OK, and we're going to do the right turn now. So we're going to add event, keyboard, right, and again make sure you're on control, drag the variable in, and we're going to call this the same name, so image underscore angle. And we're going to set that to -5. And again, we are going to tick relative. And ticking relative, what relative does, it tells Gamemaker to add 5 to the current image angle value rather than setting the image angle to 5. So let's click OK. We're now going to set the movement direction. And to do that, we're going to add a step event. So add event, and we want step. Okay, step. And what we then do is we're going to drag from the control a variable in. We're going to call that direction. and the value of that is actually going to be set to image underscore angle. Make sure it's set to self, and we're going to click OK. And what the step event does is it will repeat 30 times a second while the game is running. The instructions make sure the object's movement direction always matches the image angle of the sprite. So we know how to get the player to move now. We need to be able to stop the player. So when the player releases the forward or back keys, we want the player to stop moving. So we need to add an event, and that's going to be key release. And we're going to say any key. So when any key is released, we want the player to stop. So to do that, again, we are going to set variable. We're going to call it speed. And we're going to set the speed to 0. And it essentially just means that when any key on the keyboard is released by the player, it sets the player's speed to 0 and the tank will stop moving. So we're going to click OK. Click OK here. We now need to put our player onto the level. And to do that, we're going to open our rim. So you can see here we've got rim level 1. And we want to put our sprite in here. So you just select the Objects tab, and we have our sprite here, and we can literally just tell it here to add obj player. That's the only one we've got, and we just left click anywhere on the screen, and it places it into the rim. Save that, save the game, and we can test it. So testing's really simple. When we push the up arrow, it should move forward. Back arrow, it should move back. Turning left, turning right. And then start to see that we've got the start of our game.